lane, still possible. But
10 seconds remaining.
They seem to not really mind too much about what they're up against. At least that's what their first two picks tell me. Like they say, like, okay, you know what, we're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna do our own lanes.
Radiant team.
We're gonna just play what we like. And we have the Chen being picked up by eL'Pride, so they do have the jungle hero. So we are gonna see the dual lane. And two solo lanes are left. That leaves it very easy for 25 to ban out heroes against them. Though they still ban out the Wisp because Leshrac in theory could be on a solo lane mid and then Chaos Knight Wisp would be there, possibly. But if you are assuming Leshrac and Chaos Knight are gonna be together, which I'm basically thinking, then solo lanes are the ones that you have to ban out. They ban out an off lane Undying. We're gonna have a Jakiro being banned out by eL'Pride themselves because they don't want to be having that with the dual lane with the lifesteal there. I mean, it's just too painful if they're gonna be up against a trial lane. We're gonna have Rubik being banned out, another support. So it's not that hard to ban out heroes against 25 right now either. It's either jungle heroes or supports. They could still think about banning the Enigma, for example. And other than that, it's just the supports. It's a lone druid that still gets banned out on the side of 25. Another one that could potentially be solo laning somewhere. As we have got eL'Pride out. I mean, they cannot think about their draft anymore longer than the time that they're giving per pick, because it's just they don't have the time. They have 4 seconds left in their bonus time. And that's nothing at all. While 25, they're gonna make use of that. Because they have all the time in the world left. They preferably do not want to use it, because then if they use their bonus time, they're unintentionally giving eL'Pride also some time to think about their draft. So if they're gonna try to rush pick, it's just to make sure that eL'Pride is indeed not gonna get any extra time. Shadow Demon gets banned out there, but Crystal Main's still getting picked up. Now Crystal Main is a hero that we don't see that often because she is super squishy, and if she is gonna be up against the Chaos Knight Leshrac, that is trouble. Because she dies fast. But if you combine her with the Lifestealer, you have a Frostbite, you're having Lifestealer coming towards the target. You've got a slow, more time for Lifestealer to get towards his target. And you've got open wounds to set something up for Crystal Maiden in return, as in to make sure Crystal Maiden can come in range, because she's a very slow hero to land a Frostbite or a Nova. Juggernaut getting picked up there by eL'Pride, so that's gonna be one of their solo lanes. We have seen Juggernaut solo laning safe lanes before, solo laning middle lanes as well. And we might even have Leshrac still middle, I don't know. Juggernaut's being picked up by teams that normally want to go middle lane. Middle lane, what am I saying? Mid-game! Mid-game! Because they have got a healing ward, they want to start pushing, and with the Leshrac and the Chen, they can actually do that if they want to. Now, Chaos Knight is also a mid-game hero, so we might see them when Chaos Knight is level 8, when Juggernaut's level 6 or 7, and Chen is level 6, they might just go, you know what, let's start pushing, we'll go 5 men, depending on how the lanes have gone, by the way. If they're gonna be too shut down on the lanes, they might just not do it yet. They might just wait a bit longer. But if they have the advantage of the lanes, they could go 5-man Dota fairly early on, and that's gonna be trouble. Because 25, I mean, they have got some counter push, but it mostly exists of that Iron Shell, which can be picked off very easily, because there is also some burst damage coming up from eL'Pride. There's gonna be some fire from Bedrider to try and counter push, but to do that he has to be putting himself in danger, which is not something that you want to do with the Chaos Knight there. Crystal Maiden's Nova is of course nice, but then you are in range of getting Reality Rifted in and you die fast. So there's not that much counter push yet on the lane of on the side of 25. We might see them change that with the last pickup that they're gonna be doing right here. eL'Pride. Oh, sorry, it's still 25. Actually, they're using all their time right now. They're also giving eL'Pride time to think about their last pick. We still have a lot of solo lanes in there though, like Windrunner is there, Beastmaster is there. I was gonna say Tidehunter because he's in theory also a hero that could go on that off lane. But and now he's picked up by 25. You're wondering why exactly? Well, I just said they need some some counter push, but having the threat of a team fight is also pretty decent to be making sure that eL'Pride is not going to go 5-man that fast, because team fight potential on Tidehunter is quite big, and if you're going to be trying to 5-man Dota and you're going to be knowing that there is a Ravage waiting for you, that is pretty dangerous, and you might not want to do that. Venomancer is going to be the last pick up for eL'Pride, making me quite curious about how they're going to lane this, because the possibilities are endless. We see two very strong dual lanes for them. Chaos Knight Leshrac, super strong. Venomancer Juggernaut, super strong. If you play that in pubs, you're gonna win, most likely. Because Venomancer Juggernaut, you can slow, we Blade Fury, hits targets the whole time. They cannot get away, they should die. Reality Drift, Chaos Knight, Reality Drift, stun. Leshrac stun followed up on the Chaos Bolt. No chance of missing that stun if the Chaos Bolt is longer than 1 second. It is very dangerous. But that would mean that a Chen is on the lane if they're gonna run 2 dual lanes. Now in theory I have seen a Chen solo mid before, but it's not ideal. Not advisable. We're gonna see how they're gonna do it.
10 seconds remaining.
As we're waiting for everybody to pick up their heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
And for me to eat the last piece of cookie, because food is needed to get yourself up to strength, people. It is all human. That I'm eating, by the way. Or was. Just the last bite. Yeah, sorry for that. That's not very professional of me. We have got a pause. Because, you know, pauses are fun, but that gives me time to make sure that at least I check out my overlay so that it's switched. And so that you can see that there's an entire map, not just things that's in the middle of the map. Anyway, let's see what we are gonna see playing who, playing what, where, etc. I'm actually gonna start on the Radiant side, because then maybe we can see a bit more about what eL'Pride is gonna think of doing, because it's a lot easier to see what eL'Pride is gonna try and do. We're gonna see Nexus playing his Lifestealer. Now that's one of his signature heroes, so no real surprise there. It's gonna be Stream playing the Crystal Maiden. Manifest will be playing the Tidehunter. We see Seedoy up on the Bedrider with ZXC is actually the Darkseer here. I checked it out in the meantime. Between the casts, and we're gonna see them all in the bottom lane. Now what we expect is Darkseer mid or top, Bedrider mid or top, and the trial lane bottom. Basically that, but we're first gonna see this. Oh, smoke up. Oh, they find them. They have that Gale. That's one of the most powerful spells. Hits on 2. There goes the Chaos Bolt up on the Crystal Maiden. Only 1 second, but here comes the Blade Fury Stalk. Just doing what he can. His Vigos is in a lot of trouble though. Has to get himself away first, but still goes to Stalk, killing off the Crystal Maiden. And now the rest trying to get himself away. There will be another stun soon. Or will there not be? Leshrac stun missing. Actually, Nexus able to get away. 1 second set up on a Darkseer again. Not lucky today, but it will be Darkseer that gets away safely. And that was a nice Fierce Blood and just a small hint of the potential that these two teams have early game. This is why the Venomancer is just such a strong hero early game. That 50% slow is just super painful. Crystal Main, squishy hero. That's normally why she doesn't get picked. But the Fierce Blood goes to the Juggernaut. And goes towards eL'Pride. So let's go over eL'Pride, see who's playing what. We saw Stark playing the Juggernaut. He's going towards the top lane. Looks like Massacre is on his way towards the top lane as well. Unless he just wants to ward. We'll see how they're gonna do. Maybe they're just gonna leave one lane alone actually. We're gonna have Android playing the Chen. He's gonna be going into the jungle. No real surprise there. We're gonna have the Chaos Knight played by Vigos. He's gonna be on the mid lane and he's gonna be with the Venomancer there. Who lands a Gale stun there as well. That was an illusion invisibility rune getting put to good use. Darkseer cannot get away, but that Iron Shell is still doing some damage, but the tower is actually hitting on Hakon, who is gonna be playing the Venomancer. And don't tell me it says Xako, but it's actually pronounced Hakon. I have asked, and that is the way that you pronounce it. So that is Hakon playing the Venomancer, and they indeed are leaving the bottom lane open completely. And that is something that you don't see every day. But they realize they can't be up against a trial lane with the Night Stalker and the Crystal Main there, and they can try to get their advantage on the other lanes, and they are doing that, as we are gonna see the top lane. Also, sorry, Seedoy trying to get himself away from this trial lane, because it's a semi-trial lane with that Chen being there as well. It's actually quite surprising that they have these two dual lanes, the Shrek not hitting anymore, because normally, like I said during the draft, you have got two strong dual lanes with a Juggernaut Leshrac and a Juggernaut Venomancer and a Leshrac Chaos Knight, but I do like that they swapped it around. It's of course, it's just two strong supports regardless early in the game, so they have kind of swapped it around. On that downside though, on the top lane you are kind of relying on that stun of Leshrac to actually hit, and you don't have anything to set it up with apart from if the Chen comes with a Troll Warlord or something like that. But Massacre is, of course, he's not intending to miss stuns. In the meantime, mid lane, this is the mid lane. Darkseer decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to to the jungle because I can't get anything anymore in the mid lane. I will get killed off. I will get Galed. Even with that Gale having so much extra mana needs, it is still, I mean, it's still very annoying, and that poison sting also slows down a bit. It's just, you don't want to risk it. In the meantime, they realize, you know what, our bottom lane is gonna be... Wow, he's the one he's the one spamming right now. So the other one already disconnected right after he said that. Anyway, in the meantime, in the bottom lane, he is gonna be, they're gonna know, like, okay, we're by ourselves, wait a second, Darkseer, I think you are dead. Or, ooh, Aisha's still doing some damage. They're very low, both of them, but they will be able to get away. But it is dive also on the top lane. Come on, stop being harassing in the meantime. Stop so I can talk. Well, the bottom lane is still pushing in. But as you just saw, top lane is pushing in as well. And they can do that. They have got the pushing potential. I said that at the start. You've got the Leshrac and the Chen and the healing ward from the Juggernaut. I said they might want to go for 5-man Dota when there's the levels up on there, but they don't need to wait, not if they're up against a solo lane. So Edict level 1 helping out, it might not be as fast as you would want it to, but you know, it's going just fine. So both towers will be going down at around the same time, so tower for tower, nice trade there. Though you would be putting it in favor of eL'Pride slight, or sorry, of 25 slightly, because this guy is still getting some experience from the lane. And this guy is not getting any experience right now. He's level 4 actually, he's not doing bad at all. Courier's still walking, that's gonna be trouble. They need to get it up flying soon. As, well, in the meantime this pushing is just gonna continue. Some nice sticky napalm going on right there. Ooh, Massacre doing some twitchy moves. Try to go for a stun. But they're just gonna go to the tier 2, and that's something that the bottom lane is not doing. They're gonna take more time to farm. While this lane is just gonna make sure that they're gonna continue farming, and Juggernaut actually taking a lot of harassment here, but he got a healing ward. He's got it spec'd up to level 1. He's fine. In the meantime, there is a rune, double damage rune up on Vegas after he used the regen rune, and we'll be going towards the middle lane again. Of course, it's so far as eL'Pride 3 to 0. They're having a great old time here, and they will be able to just continue their harassment as we have Vegas. I mean, he doesn't seem to mind that there is actually a creep with Iron Shell up on there, as we have a TP cancelled there by the Bat Rider as the tower still drops. The fortification was already used, so they couldn't use it anymore. But this is interesting, because normally you'd say, you know what, Lifestealer free farming, that's super dangerous. But at the same time, we have eL'Pride. They're not doing bad on last hits. We actually have Stalk being stalked right now by Seedoy, and he doesn't have any supports. The supports are way too far away. This might actually turn into a kill for Seedoy. 3 stacks up on Sticky Napalm. There goes the Leshrac stun though. One more needed of Seedoy. 4 stacks, but he cannot get it. He's chased away by Massacre. That is dangerous stuff right there, Stalk, but he is gonna be fine. And he actually gets a salve from his teammate, or maybe he had it himself. And Leshrac is gonna be sent back to base to get some more mana. As we have got Chaos Knight, Vegas, he's just walking past, he's having a fun old time. I do think they got spotted out. Bat Rider has to be careful. I think actually Bat Rider might be dropping here. Double damage to reality ripped in, needs to stun and it gets the kill! Vegas, doing Vegas things right here. It might not be diving past towers on Night Stalkers, but it is definitely Vegas things of just going towards the other side of the map by going in between 2 towers, between heroes, and just killing off a solo Bat Rider by himself. Gale hits on the Crystal Maid. Looked like it missed her. It's still up there though. Screen is gonna be fine. But the pressure is on. Massacre with full mana decided, you know what, let's go middle lane instead. Chen's coming out to help. Juggernaut's gonna be farming top in the meantime by himself, and the towers is just gonna make sure that the gold advantage for eL'Pride is gonna continue. And I say continue because it's already 2k in their favor, and this is a very tough thing to stop for 25. The thing that they need is time and levels. Time for the Lifestealer to farm, levels up on this Tidehunter to try and stop the push that's coming out from eL'Pride. Because like I said, eL'Pride wants to push, that's fine. So either they need counter push, and during the draft I said, well, Tidehunter is also a good one to stop them from pushing, because then you have the threat of a Ravage. But you have to actually have Tidehunter level 6 before you can have that threat. So pretty nice going for eL'Pride so far, making sure that Tidehunter is not going to be any trouble, and he's actually TPing in. And Lifestealer is stuck inside of him. There goes a stun. He still wants to go for screen, but it's a kill, and it's screen that gets away. Nice frostbite going out there. Can they get more? They need to get more. Surge up on Manifest. He's got a gush still if he wants to. There's the gush. The Shrek stun still hits, but the gush is still there. 2 stacks of sticky napalm on there. Is there gonna be another kill? Gets it still, but the surge is there, and that's gonna be another kill going the way of 25. Lifestealer picking up the kill there. Finally getting something in return. Finally stopping the train that is eL'Pride, the crushing train. In the meantime, though, it is stock that is just now free farming. And, you know, the thing about leaving a lane open is fine. You are accepting that your opponent is having free farm. But if you look at the last hits, he is ahead, obviously. But it is Juggernaut that's actually not doing bad at all on last hits. Same thing goes for the Chaos Knight. So the 2 lanes that they did have, they did do pretty nicely, as we have got the gold permitted actually, which is, or sorry, the net worth, which is a lot more important now with all these towers going down, with these skills going down as well. Net worth is a lot more important, and we do see Lifestealer highest up on there, but there's 3 heroes from eL'Pride just following him, and that's important, because there's 2 carries up on eL'Pride that can do a lot of damage later game, which is of course the Juggernaut as well as the Chaos Knight. Oh, Gale hits up on Steedoid. Can they get him? Leshrac stun, gonna not hit. Nice dodge by Steedoid, trying to get himself away. Stock walks through the fire. Has to be careful. Tower still drops. They're gonna let him go, but they're gonna continue their push. In the meantime, Figos has decided to find the target again, and it's gonna be reality drifting in. There's gonna be a stun. He needs to get a stun. He doesn't get it. No vision. There's a stun. There's a stun. 3 seconds. 1 more hit. Bam, you're dead. Viga's getting the kill. Gush doesn't do anything anymore, and his mana and health look like nothing ever changed. In the meantime, push on the bottom lane continues. The healing ward up there, level 2. Still level 5 only up on stock, but he doesn't seem to mind. He doesn't seem to care. He just wants to go for these towers, and they can get it also. Fortification going off once again. Reality drifting on the side. Vigos, 1 hit, 2 hit, screen, dead. That's the reason why Crystal Maiden is not one of the supports that's being picked up that often anymore, because she's just so squishy. And that will be the tier 2 tower dropping as well. A ward being placed just in case. And another Venomancer ward. They can do that. And this is some rich supports with all those the tower gold going their way. Mana boots in 9 minutes for a supportless Shrek, pretty impressive. Same thing goes for Venomancer, not that he gets mana boot, but he's still pretty rich, and he actually bought something that's on the courier right now. And I realized there's only 1 tower left. Oh, he bought the Medallion of Courage. Nice, that will be a Roshan. There's only 1 tower left. Normally though you go through this when you have all towers down, but they already pushed the middle lane and they failed at that time, so they realized, you know what, let's just do what we were planning on doing anyway. We're just gonna go for Roshan. We have the Medallion of Courage. Courage. Anyway, and we can do this. They're not gonna get contested at all. Though the Ravage is up. Had to be said. Start picking up the Aegis, who is now level 6 by the way, so he'll be able to jump around with his Omni Slash if he wants to. We have no Hand of God just yet. It will be a pretty big factor if you're gonna count in the Ravage for 25. Experience graph is actually in favor of 25. Now that's because eL'Pride is playing 5-man Dota right here. And I mean, it's pretty simple. If you're playing 5-man Dota, just roaming around with 5, just pushing down towers, you're sharing the experience all in 1 lane. And yes, you're getting some kills to get some experience, more experience your way. But you're not getting as much experience as if you were splitting your forces over multiple lanes, which is what 25 was able to do. So that's in their favor. Gold graph in the meantime, it's not that much in favor of 25. It is definitely in favor of eL'Pride. But with only 1 tower left right now in the map on the side of 25, this graph is going to be stagnating soon. Unless eL'Pride can make sure they continue to keep their advantage by killing off heroes and making sure that 25 cannot farm anymore. That's something that you have to do. If you have a pushing lineup, you have to keep the pressure on. Now, they don't only have a pushing lineup, they can also just go for mid-game and just continue to farm up. They can even try to go for late game, even though Lifestealer will be very tricky to deal with, but they do have 2 carries versus just 1. But if they want to continue pushing, they want to keep the pressure on. Right now, they're not doing so. They're going back to farming themselves, which is also meaning that Nexus is going to be going back to farming as well. As we do see that eL'Pride has got some nice map coverage here. Everywhere they took down a tower and they went for Roshan, they just placed a ward, making sure that they know where everybody is. And we're gonna see in the meantime support's getting some more levels, some more farm. We're gonna see Stalk getting some more farm there because he wants to have his Omni Slash being a bit more successful, a bit more damage up on there is needed in that case. Tidehunter, in the meantime, not happy, or sorry, not sad with the time he's getting to farm also. We see Darkseer building towards a mechanism, and Nexus also farming on the bottom lane. 2200 gold up on him. Vigos by himself there, as the rest of his team actually decided to continue the push. And they're gonna be ganked though, with 3 people from the back. TP in there as well from the Bat Rider. Here comes the Ravage. Hits on 2 only though. Hakon gonna land his Venomance ulti, will probably go down. Hand of God still going through. Hakon still drops, but they are now gonna try to turn in the raid. Darkseer will Omni Slash going through as well. Omni Slash, or yeah, there we go. It's actually Batrider like at reality drifts it in. He dies. The Vigos coming into play. Buyback coming up from the Venomancer. Wants to be here again. You can just TP towards the tier 1. Reality drift back in. Darkseer, Trouble in Paradise goes down before he can surge himself away. Nexus, Trouble, Reality drift in. Is it gonna be a stun? No, he rages. He is just fine. But that's gonna be the last tower standing on the side of 25, and that's gonna be their Ravage use as well. That's the thing that they could use to try and push their opponents back. But eL'Pride not gonna be scared by one little Ravage. Of course, the Twirly Blade Fury was there from the Juggernaut. He was able to just not get hit by the Ravage. The supports got hit, and they were able to kill off the Venomancer. But with that Hand of God, he stayed alive for a very long time, and that is not something that you want to be spending so much effort on. It's just a support Venomancer that already got his ultimate off. Basically, when Venomancer has done his Poison Nova, has done his Gale, he is, you know, he's done. It's his thing. He just uses his spells and then he dies. Or he gets away. In this case he died, but it took a long time. In the meantime, Massacre gets open wounds up and in from Nexus, gets vacuumed back in, and indeed goes down. Buys back though, Manifest Trouble for him, goes down as well. Nexus now, Trouble trying to eat up Vigos, but Vigos gonna try to run away from that one. Tower still hitting, will be able to stay alive there, as Stalk is gonna take a lot of tower hits here, but his healing ward, his healing ward's actually just died. That's trouble for him, but he's gonna be fine. He's at least not dying. The only one that died was again a support. Was again support on eL'Pride. Was a Leshrac he bought back, but doesn't matter because they're gonna be backing off. And they did do some damage to the tier 1 tower, tier 3 tower here. It's actually already down to half HP, and that is just trouble. The kill score is not even that different. It's just eL'Pride's dominance of the presence of heroes right now. If you look at the heroes mid game, is what eL'Pride is. Mid-game, early game, the pushing power is just there. We've seen the Juggernaut pushing lineups before with the Leshrac, with the Venomancer, even Venomancer wards, and the Chen. That makes it all the more, or the better for eL'Pride, or worse for 25. And it is, it's paying off. Though they have to keep the pressure on, they have to not lose that many. And with those 2 buybacks, it might not actually be that ideal. The gold graph is keeping dropping though, now even once again. As we have, of course, 25, who was able to go back to farming a bit later than eL'Pride, so but still back to farming on both. Ooh, Rage dodging the stun and TPing out. Clevers. And there's the BKB being built up by the Chaos Knight. He wants to have his own Rage, but then in BKB form. We're gonna have 1800 gold up on the Juggernaut. Let's see what he's gonna buy next. Okay, quite curious about that, because normally you go for something like a Necronomicon or something just to make sure you can push harder, but I would actually like to see still a Battle Fury up on the Juggernaut, just in case it goes late game, just in case they cannot push into their opponents, just that extra damage up on him. As we see, Lash doesn't have anything new. We have the mechanism already up on the Chen, which we already saw, but that's about it. And there's actually a Gem of True Sight from the Venomancer, because map control is what it is. You want to have that map control. You want to make sure that you just get your, well, you know, make sure your opponent doesn't farm. And that's what you can do with the Gem of True Sight. Make sure that your opponent does not have ward, does not have vision, does not feel safe anywhere. Oh, nice fish, dude. In the meantime, this Tidehunter is also pretty poor. But that's also because, well, he just got killed off for the first time. Actually, he's been in has an assist for all 4 kills that have happened on the side of or happened on the side of 25 right now. His Ravage was actually quite decent. He couldn't do anything else afterwards, and his team didn't have enough damage to take the fight yet. We have got Lifestealer picking up a Mythril Hammer, gonna go for a Desolator. Let's see what Screen is gonna go for. Well, he's the Crystal Maiden. He's not gonna go for anything right now. Screen has died 2 times. Out of the 9 kills that eL'Pride has, only 2 for the Crystal Maiden. It's actually quite decent for Crystal Maiden. Stock, 2,500 gold up on him right now. Maybe he's just gonna go for BKB. No, he doesn't want to go for BKB and have his Blade Fury. What am I saying? What am I saying? Nothing useful, that's for sure. Mechanism being built up by the Darkseer is complete. And definitely needed as well. I mean, they have got that Venomancer ulti. They probably need a pipe as well to deal with that one and the Blade Fury, just to make sure that they can survive the initial teamfight burst that comes up from eL'Pride. They need that mechanism. And a pipe. And look at that. This is what map control does to your opponents. They just can't fight anywhere. Look, sentry wards. Sentry wards there. Sentry ward there. Sentry ward there. That's well, 300 gold right there. Used. Getting some map control back. Feeling the freedom to farm slightly, but it's gonna be a short lasted freedom by the looks of it. We're gonna have 3 heroes already up here. 4 if you count off the Leshrac that's coming from the side. And they're actually gonna try to go for it. Leshrac's gonna be the target. He's gonna try to get away. Nova doesn't hit anymore. They realize they're all there, with the Tidehunter having that smoke up still. But are they gonna fight this? They might actually. They look for it. Double damage room just run out. Gale hits on the Bat Rider. The Venomancer ulted there as well. They want to go for Steroid. Can they get him? There goes the lightning. Pentanen's going there, and the Omni Slash. They just wanted the Bat Rider. They get him. Well, success for you, Stock. Success for you. And it's gonna be an Aghanims by the looks of it. Picks up a point booster. Wants to be able to jump around a bit faster. Or longer, I should say.
Invisibility.
In the meantime, Nexus, Invisibility Rune, they do know it's there. They do have the gem also. If the Venomancer is there, which he's not, so that's a bit troublesome. But where is the Venomancer? He is on his way. And he knows he's invisible. Knows that the Nexus is invisible, so he has